Alright, y'all, so I'm back with another Bible reading today, and actually, let me real quick. So I had to fill out that sheet, and I put a check mark and an X because I still was kind of falling into sin for sure, but I didn't full on fall in, so I'm happy about that. I'm still a little bit upset, so today I'm a little bit mad, but that's fine. Again, I just have to hope that tonight I can do a little bit better, and I'm just going to try my best. So, for right now, I am on 2 Samuel 21 to Samuel 22, page 274 to 275. I'm just going to read these 2 pages, then I'm going to go check the mail, and then I'll probably record some videos with Mitchie, but again, I'm going to try to upload those videos hopefully tomorrow. Maybe tonight I can edit them, or maybe tomorrow I'll edit them and they'll come out the next day, or, whenever they come out. But we should have some ARC videos, and then maybe some more backrooms as well. Alright. Instructed that his 10 wives he had left to keep the house should be placed in seclusion. Their needs were to be cared for, he said, but he would no longer sleep with them as his wives, so they remained in virtual widowhood until their deaths. Then the king instructed Amasiah to mobilize the army of Judah within 3 days and to report back at that time. So Amasiah went out to notify his troops, but it took them longer than 3 days he had been given. Then David said to Abishai, "That fellow Shebaiah is going to hurt us more than Absalom did. Quick, take my bodyguard and chase after him before he gets into the fortified city where we can't reach him." So Abishai and Joab sent out after Sheba with an elite guard of Joab's army Joab's army and the king's own bodyguard. As they arrived at the great stone in Gibeon, they came face to face with Amasa. Joab was wearing his uniform with a dagger strapped to the side. As he steps forward to greet Amasa, he stealthily slipped the dagger from its sheath. "I'm glad to see you, my brother," Joab said, and took him by the beard, and with his right hand, as though to kiss him. Amasa didn't notice the dagger in his left hand. And Joab stabbed him in the stomach with it, so that his bowels gushed out into the ground. He did not need to strike again, and he died there. Joab and his brother Abishai left him lying there and continued after Sheba. One of Joab's young officers shouted to Amasiah's troops, "If you are for David, come and follow Joab." But Amasiah lay in his blood in the middle of the road, and when Joab's young officers saw that a crowd was gathering around to stare at him, they dragged him off the road into a field and threw a garment over him. With the body out of the way, everyone went on with Joab to capture Sheba. Meanwhile, Sheba had traveled across Israel to mobilize his own clan of Beersheba, whatever that is, and the city of Abel and Beth Mach. Don't know that name. When Joab's forces arrived, they besieged Abel and built a mound on top of the city wall and began battering it down. But a wise woman in the city called out to Joab, "Listen to me, Joab, come over here so I can talk to you." As he approached, the woman asked, "Are you Joab?" And he replied, "I am." So she told him, There used to be a saying, if you want to settle an argument, ask advice at Abel, for we always give wise counsel. You are destroying an ancient, peace-loving city, loyal to Israel. Should you destroy what is the Lord's? And Joab replied, This isn't it at all. All I want is a man named Sheba from the hill country of Ephraim, who has revolted against the king, or against King David. If you will deliver him here to me, we will leave the city in peace. All right, the woman replied, we will throw his head over the wall to you. Then the woman went to the people with her wise advice, and they cut off Sheba's head and threw it out to Joab. And they blew the trumpet and called his troops back from the attack, and they returned to the king of Jerusalem, the king at Jerusalem. Joab was commander-in-chief of the army, and whatever that name is, was in charge of the king's bodyguard, was in charge of the forced labor battalions. Don't know that name as well. So every time I don't know a name, I'm just going to try to skip over it. I'm sorry. I'm just going to do that. Was the historian who kept the records. Shiva was the sanctuary, and blank blank were the chief priest, Ira, Juliet. Okay, yeah, skipping over that. There was a famine during David's reign that lasted year after year for 3 years, and David spent much time in prayer about it. Then the Lord said, The famine is because of the guilt of Saul and his family, for they murdered the Gibeonites. So King David summoned the Gibeonites. He summoned them. They were not part of Israel, but were what was left of the nation of Amorites. Israel had sworn not to kill them, but Saul in his nationalistic zeal had tried to wipe them out. David asked them, What can I do for you to rid ourselves of this guilt and to include you to ask God to bless us? Oh, to induce you. Well, money won't do it, the Gibeons responded. What was that? Gibeonites? Well, money won't do it, the Gibeonites replied, and we don't want to see Israelites executed in revenge. What can I do then? David asked. Just tell me, and I will do it for you. Well then, they replied, give us 7 of Saul's sons, the sons of the man who did his best to destroy us. We will hang them before the Lord in Gibeon, the city of King Saul. All right, the king said, I will do it. He spared Jonathan's son, don't know that name, who was Saul's grandson, because of the oath between himself and Jonathan. But he gave them the 2 sons of Rizpah, Amiri, and Mepithiah, who were grandsons of Saul by his wife. He also gave them the 5 adopted sons of Michal, that she brought up from Saul's daughter, Morhib, the wife of Adriel. The man of Gibeon impaled them in the mountain before the Lord, so all 7 of them died together at the beginning of the barley harvest. Then Rizpah, the mother of 2 men, spread sackcloth upon the rock and stayed there through the entire harvest season to prevent the vultures from tearing at their bodies during the day and the wild animals from eating them at night. When David learned what she had done, he arranged for the men's bones to be burned in the grave of Saul's father, Kish. At the same time, he sent a request to the men of Jabesh Gilead, asking them to bring him the bones of Saul and Jonathan. They had stolen their bodies from the public square at Bethshean, where the Philistines had impaled them after they had died in battle on Mount Gilboa. So their bones were brought to him. Then at last God answered prayers and ended the famine. Once when the Philistines were at war with Israel and David and his men were in the thick of the battle, David became weak and exhausted. Eshebia, whatever that name is, a giant whose spear tip weighed more than 12 pounds and who was sporting a new suit of armor, closed in on David and was about to kill him. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, came to his rescue and killed the Philistine. After that, David's men declared, "You are not going out to battle again. Why should we risk suffering out the light of Israel?" Later, during a war with Philistines at Goeb Shekebiah, the Hashgunite killed, I don't know the name, another giant. And still another time, and at the same place, killed the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, whose spear handle was as huge as a waver's beam. And once when the Philistines and Israels were fighting at Gath, I'm just going to skip that because, again, it just keeps going over names I really just don't feel like pronouncing, and I'm already kind of annoyed, and I don't want to get more annoyed, especially not at my Bible, so I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do that. David sang the song to the Lord after he had rescued him from Saul and from all other enemies. "Jehovah is my rock, my favorite, my fortress, and my savior. I will hide in God, who is my rock and my refuge. He is my shield and my salvation, my refuge and high tower. Thank you, O my Savior, for saving me from all my enemies. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. He will save me from all my enemies. The waves of death surrounded me. Floods of evil burst upon me. I was trapped and bound by hell and death. But I call upon the Lord in my distress, and he heard me from his temple. My cry reached his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of the heavens quaked because of this wrath. Because of his wrath, smoke poured out from the nostrils, fire leaped from his mouth, and burned up all before him. And real quick, I think something I'm going to start doing, because again, and my channel isn't just for views or to get money at all, but I'm still not the best at reading my Bible. So I think what I'm going to do is I might stop making Bible videos for a little bit. I'm going to still read my Bible every day unless I forget to, and then I'm going to continue it the next day. But I'm going to keep reading my Bible to myself silently every single day because I just do better when I read it to myself. When I'm on video, I literally just, it's so hard to read my Bible, and it makes me get annoyed, and I'm just not about to do that. I'm going to keep I'm not going to keep getting annoyed at my Bible. I would rather read it in my head and skip over stuff because when I'm talking, I forget. So I'm going to keep reading my Bible, and you know what I'll do is, either on my Instagram or on a YouTube post, I will just post what pages I'm reading for that day to make sure, I don't have a lot of subscribers anyways. I have like 35 people that follow my channel, but just so y'all know that I'm still reading my Bible every day, to maybe give you guys some encouragement to read your own, whatever it is, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to how about this? I might just make a short every day of me talking about what I'm going through. And again, I'm going to try to remember this. I might forget, but oh well. I am just going to try to make it short of how I feel every day and what's my, what I'm going through with God, how God is helping me, and just whatever I can do, because that helps people the most. And I think everybody, I don't think I really need to show people that I'm reading my Bible. I'm going to keep reading it regardless. And I just want to help people find their own faith, and I want to tell people about what I've been going through and how God is helping me through my struggles. So I'm going to do that. But again, this isn't going to be like my last Bible reading ever. I'm going to probably pick up when I get to Psalms or maybe the book of Job, and I'll read some of those on video. But for now, I'm just going to read my book silently to myself, or my Bible, and I'll keep making gaming videos, and I'll keep making videos of me talking about how God is helping me. Because I feel better doing that. I feel a lot better doing that, I feel a lot more happier when I do that. So, again, for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out. I love y'all.